I grew up the fat kid. I mean like the fat kid. I was the slowest runner in my entire grade and probably the entire school. Elementary school was horrible, especially PE class, because I'd be the slowest runner. Everybody would be waiting for me on the other end of the field, and I'd be huffing and puffing along, and it'd be a big display of my physical inabilities. The lack of prowess in my running abilities was just on display for the entire grade to see. It wasn't good times. Now, I was fat, I had braces, I had glasses, I had asthma, I had a gap in my teeth from the braces, and I had an abnormally high-pitched voice. I wasn't very cool. It was one of the best things that ever happened to me, but one of the worst things as well, because I remember being quite sad at the time. Now, baseball was one of the worst times because there was a lot of pressure in baseball. Everything I wasn't good at was on display again. And my dad was an overly excited sideline parent, you know, Bahia. He'd be there yelling from the sidelines, and I'd be doing my absolute best, and I could throw, I could catch, I could pitch, I just couldn't run. So I'd hit almost a freaking home run, and then I'd get out at second base because I'd be chugging along, whistling as I ran, and my dad would be on the sidelines going, "Run, Aren, run!" Big veins popping out of his neck because he was just an angry guy. Don't worry, Bahia. I absolutely forgive you for all the childhood trauma that you have distilled upon me. You're doing the best you could with what you had. Oh, I hope Dad doesn't see this. My dad would do the best he could, and he wanted me to get in shape. He didn't want me to suffer. He knew it wasn't easy being the fat kid, you know? So he would take me running with him. He'd try to get me in shape by taking me to jog with him. And that was just a form of torture for me because I hated running, and he would take me running, and it was the last thing I wanted to do. I just wanted to eat McChickens, with extra sauce, of course, and watch The Simpsons, like, leave me alone. But that wasn't happening. Dad would get me up and get me going running. Now, the fat Aren story does have a happy ending. My teeth don't whistle anymore. But also, I moved to Bali, opened up multiple businesses, and have amazing people around me. I think all this is as a result of being that fat kid and getting through my own things. So my dad called me and we caught up a little bit, and he told me he was getting out of shape now and asked me what he should do. And it was amazing because the tables have turned. But also I told him, hey, you should start running. I'm running every morning now. I've been doing it for a year. He was blown away. He couldn't believe it. Wait, you're running? You hated running. I couldn't make you run. And I told him, hey, I'm not that kid anymore. I've changed. My perspective on life has changed, and now my perspective on running has changed. The moral of the story is that we can come back to anything that we found as a huge challenge once we do a full reset on our perspective. We can learn to love doing the work. We can learn to love taking on anything by starting off doing many small things to build up our discipline and gain momentum. I started running with short jogs and worked up to hill sprints. It's a very satisfying thing to take on something that got the best of you previously. You can single-handedly heal your own childhood trauma by becoming a more capable human being. So take a crack at something you couldn't do before. And if it's still difficult, put in the work to learn about it and make mastering it your new mission. You'd be surprised what you can do once you're able to let go of your limitations and reset your mind around it. Times have changed and so have you. So when my dad finally asked me what he should do to get back on the wagon, I got to say to him, run, Paul, run. I'm Aren Bahia, and this is The Full Reset. These are tips on how to start your life over. Follow us on Yogi Lab. Peace.